Victoria 3. You know what that means. I found something broken. Because every time I play this game, it is for a reason. And to show that off, we today are going to play Texas with the challenge. I mean, firstly, this is a challenge just playing Texas, but you will see what I mean in a minute. With the challenge that we can't grow outside of our state. So I'm allowed to take this land over here. But, you know, once we control our state, that's it. That we have high standard of living and that we have to be independent. And we're going to achieve this in record time. So at the end of the day, I want to be a prosperous, one-state, independent powerhouse. And with the current patch and all the jank that are added to it, this is very much possible now. And a small editor, Florius note, they have patched the game 2 more times since I recorded this. But I will add a few corrections like in the middle of the video for stuff that works different now. Overall, this does still work. So yeah, I take way too long with my videos currently. I'm so sorry. Anyways, I would say without further ado, let's do further. 1836 Texas. You might notice something. We are at war. But let's not care about that just yet. Let's go through a list of things I wrote down so my ADHD brain doesn't forget it. This is not a joke. I have a list of things next to me. Starting with edicts. I'm gonna place down all the good and juicy edicts that we might need. And it is road maintenance, promote social mobility, and greener grass. The last one is more of a hope than an actual help because let's talk about this in a sec. But in the long term, this is gonna be really important. Next, we have to place down an interest into France for the sole reason that we can interact with Great Britain and France. We will need both. They are very essential to helping us. Funnily enough, France already has an interest in our area, so we can improve relations with them. Next, we need to go into our government, into laws, and research colonial affairs. I mean, debate, not research. Very important. Don't go colonial frontiers here. I know it has less resistance, but we need this for diplomatic stuff. And if we go frontier colonization, we don't really gain most of the benefits. If we do this, we on paper can colonialize the entire world. We can negotiate in treaties to not do that, which can give us a lot of stuff. So here, resettlement or exploitation. I'm just taking resettlement because we can also throw nearly everyone in government. So I'm gonna do that. Very good. Next, research. We go down society. Here, here, here. Basically, we want to finish up the first tier of society so we can go into the second tier. And the second tier is gonna be the interesting tier. Jokes aside, all of the important technologies are in the next tier. This we just do to finish it up. Because if you didn't know, if I would research anything here, it would take me way longer. Instead of 10,000, this would cost us 7,500 more. That's a lot. Because it's 2,500 per first area technology we don't have researched. So it kind of really pays out to research those first and then go into this. And on another note, they're pretty good. So let's take them. Not important, but good. Construction-wise, I'm going to go down to here and build 1 trade center and 1 port. Because you will always need those. Ports build trading vessels for you. And the trade center uses the trading vessels to trade. And for a nation with not a lot of population right now, we have 56k, and most of that is probably, let me check. I mean, they're not yet, but this will grow a lot. We need to free them, otherwise we have a big part of our population that we just can't use, at least for anything I need them for. But yeah, most interesting part right now, obviously, the war. So let's talk about that. We have 2 generals, with this general over here being the best defender, so I'm gonna promote him and put him into defense. The other one I'm gonna split off, and this is a very, very cheeky strategy. Do a naval landing over here, which will force the AI to split the force and defend that. And this is basically my early setup. Confusing the AI a little bit, improving relations with those powers over here, putting in some colonial laws to have a better chance at negotiation, and not improving relations too much with the US, because starting at 20 relations, and we're at -1 right now, and it's going up because we're getting military goods from them, thankfully. It's the Texas independence movements, and it triggers the Lone Star state, which means we would be puppeted by them, or they get a claim on us and they want to annex us. Both ways, we kind of want to drag this out. I will improve relations with them a little bit because I want some stuff from them. They have something very important I need, and I didn't do that before, which is the main reason why I recorded 7 hours for nothing. Because even though this is very strong, with the jankiness of the current patch, it is still a lot of RNG, and I do recommend very, very much save the game whenever you feel comfortable doing so. This game allows achievements, like you see over here, without playing Iron Man, and there's a very good reason for that. The RNG in this game is dreadful. I love this game, but as a pre-word, I have to say that. It can be very dreadful, and it will be very dreadful. Anyways, let's go to full speed and see if we are, to split the forces. We have good chances right now to win. Some of the forces will go over here, which I don't care about. And I just need them to fight once and lose. That's all I need them to do. So they're fighting and they're losing. Beautiful. Why? Because it will trigger an event. This event over here. It can also happen if you fight long strong enough, so you might be lucky if you lose a lot that you get the event just in time. We captured the ruler of Mexico, and we can just press for a peace treaty, which we will do. We will not win this war. They have way more men than us. I mean, you can see we don't even have like 60k, so yeah, thank you for the easy out. And I would say if our interest is declared over here, we can get a rival like Switzerland for the sole reason that it gives me more influence, and it should allow me to improve relations with the British. Very good. We will come back to the British as soon as we're done with colonial resettlement, which should happen very soon. Yeah, it's already in study. We also have an election right now, and very important here is that we remove power from the landowners, which is the southern planters, which are historically not the good people. So yeah, and our population is growing, but I can tell you it is not for the good reasons. If I pause here, it is not for the good reasons. It is for reasons, but it's not for reasons we should talk about. So we finished colonial resettlement. Very good. Meaning we can obviously settle this over here, which might be very important because we want to have most of our state going to full investment into that in the institutions, because we want to get as much of our state as possible before Mexico does. And this also means we can go over here, draft a treaty, which is a new thing they added to Victoria 3 now, and we can go down with the US to law commitment, meaning that we can promise that we will put through a law, and if they agree to that, they will help us with that, and we go to legacy slavery. Please, YouTube, I'm trying to get rid of slavery. Don't demonetize that. So we gotta go down to this, because currently we are on slave trade, which is a lot of influence for our southern planters. We want to reduce this. Of course, we want to go to slavery banned, but that's a very big step, so this will not happen anytime soon. What I will promise the US is that I will not colonialize the Midwest and the Great Plains. We're currently colonializing the Dixie area, so I don't care about the other areas. I will never colonialize that. And this way, I don't have to give them any obligation, which can be a bit dangerous with the US, because it will try to eat us at some point, and if you owe someone an obligation, you can't really defend yourself if you're already the puppet. But more about it later. Just know this might be a bit bad. They agree to this. Very beautiful. I will now start to reduce relations a little bit, and we will go over here to laws and go to legacy slavery. This is really, really good for the sole reason that they're not against it. No one hates this. The only ones that are for it just have no importance in our government right now. So it's way easier to go from this to this, halving the power from 50% over here, you see there, 50%, to 25. And then from this 25, it's even easier to go to banned. But right now we have a lot of movements, including this movement over here, which is gonna be a little bit of a pain in the arse. But for now, we can actually use this movement to push what we're going for right now. So this is very important. We need to free up our population that we're importing, quote unquote, right now, and be more attractive for future migrants. On another note, we will go over to Great Britain. From them, I need investment rights. I'm gonna owe them obligation. I'm gonna offer them a power block embassy. And now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna offer them a lot of colonial treaties, so they will not colonialize ever these areas over there. And it does actually look like we just don't need to offer them obligation. Yeah, this is beautiful. So we get investment rights. They offer us all of these things. I think we can even revisit this soon and just get some free goods from them. What that means, I will show you in a second. But basically, I'm asking the UK, hey, let me build in you. And for that, I will not colonialize this. And you get an embassy for your power block, which gives influence from their power block into my nation. But I don't really care about that. So let's go. I lose nothing and they will lose nothing. But I have a lot to gain. Because right now, perfect timing. We're 1 week away from building this port in Texas. Port is done, meaning our industry is completely freed up. And you might ask yourself now, Florius, you are a very, very small nation. Texas is not the greatest nation. I mean, it is, but economy-wise, it is not right now really good. And I'm telling you right now about the investment pool, where you get reinvestment from your rich people, which is multiplied by 3% thanks to having a low GDP. Meaning that having a low GDP can be very strong because it multiplies, for some reason, our profits, at least in the reinvestment, which you will use to build new stuff. Basically, the investment pool is a pool of money our capitalists and other rich people will access to build their own private projects in the name of our nation. I will have no control over these buildings, but later on, we can tax the rich people that own it. So for a small nation like us, this is very good. And the most profitable trade that exists right now, no, not talking about this, is in India, in this state over here. Opium. People love opium. You could call it a little bit of an addiction. And you know what? I'm pro-freedom. I believe that if you want to consume something, you should be able to. Because over here in Texas, we love freedom. And the freedom to sell opioids, this will be so demonetized. Jokes aside, we will have a big investment into this over here. And because I have no construction sector right now, we use our 15 free construction right now, which costs us nothing, but will give us a lot of very profitable farms, which will have quite a modifier on them. So yeah, yapping aside, I'm just going to build those in the background. We also right now have the trade center, the trade port, meaning I can go back to the UK UK and say, hey, this treaty from before, you really love it. By the way, just a heads up, if you didn't know, everything over 30 in the liking here, meaning we are at 38, is a 100% chance. Everything between 0 and 30 is like a percentage chance that it will say yes. And if you want to have a good example for the RNG here, whatever the percentage says, it's 50-50. Jokes aside, the percentages feel very off. I played a lot of test runs now, and yeah. Anyways, what we want from the UK is goods. Why? Because we don't really have goods. So I'm just gonna go through this list, take different goods we definitely need, and my goal is to get as much of them as possible because we don't produce anything. We are in the owning business, meaning we own foreign industries. So if we depress our own prices in our local market, it might sound bad at the first call because our industries can't make a profit. But if you think about it, we don't have any industries. So we only make it cheaper for our population. There is no downside. I'm gonna get all of these goods into our market. Thank you, UK. Doing hopefully the same in France, because they also agree that I shouldn't colonialize a few things. And asking for things like paper in the future might be really good. Coffee, sure, why not? Glass, I'll take it. And we have like a 62% chance right now that will say yes. I will put this into 10 years and hope they say yes. They say no. I thought as much. Now to another trick. Over here, Power Block Embassy owe an obligation to Russia. And in return, I will ask him for 500. I think 500 is fine. 65% chance. And they say yes. Good. For 5 years, they agreed to give me 500 pounds, which is amazing, meaning my economy is very much boosted. I don't get anything from taxation anyway, so I can just put this to low. And yeah, that is my early setup. The war is over. We prepared an economy. We get a lot of resources all over the world. This is, by the way, why I have my interest over here, because you can get most of the interesting European powers into your own sphere here. I mean, we can even influence Spain. We can influence Prussia. They're all in the France area. It is a very good area to set up your call for independence and your early trade. Especially the investment rights into the UK are enormously important. And we got a new president. Yay. By the way, a good point to save. Not even a year has passed, and I'm like, you know what? Let's save. I don't want to yap all of this again, because I already recorded this video twice. And hello, editing Florius here. As already announced, I'm gonna give it a few tweaks to pull this off with the current patch. For the start, do everything the same. Only thing that really changes is that you want to have your interest over here. As you see, War 1, no problem. The only big change with the current patch, and this time it's actually up to date when I say this, the treaties have been a bit tweaked, and the AI will only take you serious if you promise to not colonialize something that you are currently colonializing. This is why I do this region over here, because Britain is currently colonializing this, which means two things. We will be able to interact with Britain, and we can promise them to not colonialize here, and they will love it. We got colonialism very fast, didn't change, colonialize this, and this breaks the don't expand the state rule. I know, but I did record this challenge on a different patch. If you just want to play Giga Texas and don't care about that challenge, this doesn't matter. And if you improve relations with Great Britain enough, they will easily give you investment rights now. You can even give them investment rights if you want to. They're not really gonna build anything in you, thanks to having a labor shortage. So I'm just gonna promise them the colonial estate, and you see, with investment rights, you could also do it without, but then it's a bit risky. With counter investment rights, we could put this up to 25 years, and we can build on them. So that's a big change here. The other big change that I want to point out is interaction with the United States. Because now that we can't promise random stuff anymore, it is not as easy to get this over here, because they're kinda against this, and you can only do this before the Civil War, because afterwards this will just change the band. And the only way to do that is to owe an obligation. And I'm not sure if I said this in a video yet, but you don't want to owe the US an obligation. That is just a run that. We could promise them not to colonialize our own land, but that would also be kind of stupid. So my solution for this is to simply just go to France, ask them to help you with banned slavery. You can promise them extra things, but most of the time you get a good chance here. It kind of fixed the percentage chance. So maybe just drop a save file here, ask them. In my case, they declined. But there are other states like Portugal that you can just ask to, and some of them will help you at some point. The only thing you need to be wary about, and that is super important for the new patch, is the US's relation. They're not allied to anyone over here yet, but if they're allied to Great Britain or France, most importantly Great Britain, it becomes super hard to break off. But yeah, I'm done yapping. I wanted to rectify this because it got patched. Back to the video. And while we're just waiting, and this goes like up and down, because even though there's no stalling chance, there's still a debate chance, and the debate chance is still, yeah, debatable if it's good. I know, crazy wordplay. You can see our standard of living exploding. Like, we are #1 standard of living right now in, 1 year. Is a little bit unfair because no nation really had a chance to develop a standard of living yet. But just to show how good this strategy is so far, and we haven't even done the really crazy stuff yet. Like, this is just normal early game. This is kind of boring. We also built our first few plantations over here, and you might notice something in our investment pool, because I can show you where we finished building them. And that's over here. And from around like 20 reinvestment, we're now getting nearly 7k. And right now we have 3 plantations. And those plantations give us a dividend of around 700. That, of course, gets multiplied by 3, giving us around 2,100. And that, of course, gets multiplied by 3, giving us around 650k. So yes, this modifier I lied to you is actually a ×9 modifier because it multiplies our reinvestment twice. Firstly, the reinvestment of the plantation, and then again, the overall reinvestment from everything. And at this point, I want to give a little bit of a shout out to the Victoria 3 channel, Honor, which I saw an amazing Krakow to Commonwealth campaign, which is this small state over here, which is a puppet of Austria, where he discovered that. And I thought, like, how much can you push this to an edge? And this is how I got my idea for this Texas campaign. So credit to him. Also a big shout out to my buddy Toby, which I can always annoy in my DMs if I have Victoria 3 questions. And yeah, he helped me a little bit with other things we will talk later about. And one last person I do want to shout out, because I do the round of shout outs, I feel like every Victoria 3 video, because there's a lot of good channels that need more attention. Generalist Gaming. I didn't shout him out last time because I gotta be honest, I haven't watched his videos yet. And now I'm very deep in the Generalist fandom. I watched all the Excel PowerPoint videos, which I can very much recommend. They are modern pieces of comedy, 10 out of 10. Anyways, you might notice right now that our investment pool is filling up, and that's quite fast for the size of our nation, but nothing is really happening with it. Like, no one is using the money. We have no private queue doing anything, and that has a very good reason. The game devs made it so that the investment pool can only be used if you have a construction sector, which we don't. So the moment we build a construction sector, the investment pool will be drained instantly because we are inside of the British, at least investment-wise, and we can buy all of the factories. I would say on the side I will use a little bit more free construction because it's very nice, and then like 5-6 plantations in, I'm just gonna build a construction center and we will make bank. On the side we got into study over here, which is still kind of slow, but it is way better than just banning it straight up because there's like a 20% chance this works, and that is not good. In the background, I'm just doing a few treaties to give people trade rights. I mean, meaning they can trade in me, but I can't trade in them, which I don't care about because it's not like I have any goods inside of me. I don't produce anything. I just steal from other people. Plus, it gives me ticking relationship with them. You see over here, if I do it with Spain, I get 0.5 to 25 relations. This will speed up me improving relations, and even if I don't improve relations, it goes up to a certain degree, meaning I will always get better treaties with them because they like me more. And on a completely different note, showing it with Russia, they might want it one-sided, but if I demand anything back, it becomes a negative value. So this is only really good as long as you have it as a standalone thing. So this is why I'm doing it one-sided, just to improve my relations a little bit in the background. With the US, I have kind of the opposite problem, where I have a lot of good treaties with them, and that means I can't really get the relationship down. Also, my money's overflowing, so yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna build that construction sector now, which will take away a little bit of my population, but I need it. In the background, very interesting, the CSA just spawned, and this is kinda important for us to choose. I think this is not worth fighting because Sweden and the Netherlands want to join, but in the long run, a strong CSA is really good. If we are very lucky, and it doesn't seem like it, France and the UK will hate the USA, which they don't right now, which is unlucky for me. So this is something you can always debate about if you want to help the CSA or not, because it will weaken the US. But on the other side, you might destroy your relations with the US for a very long time, and right now I'm using them for something really important. So I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna accept a stronger USA in the early game, but me having better relations with them and getting more out of them might be better right now, because I really need to get rid of this. Otherwise, all of this doesn't matter. And the sole reason we are doing this, because no other nation can give us legacy slavery. I mean, not even the CSA, because they are on... Yeah, and yeah, I'm definitely not gonna join this. This is... a lot of people will join that. I did also just notice our construction center finished, and no one is even working here really, but immediately our investment pool got drained, meaning from 0 financial districts, we will now have 4, which might seem like very little, but you have to understand we have 0 before, and now we own like 2 factories and 2 plantations for free basically. And this will grow. This will grow really fast. Every time we have money in the investment pool, they will just buy something new. Same with the manor houses. The problem is we will not be able to employ all of these because we just don't have enough population. I mean, our population is growing really fast. Just don't think about the why, okay? I can actually check in the background. Yeah, it has become our biggest population group. Oh no. But yeah, my plan right now is to build more plantations and get more reinvestment. And because I'm independent right now, I will just promise Russia that I will not tariff or subvent any wood, which, you know, I don't produce any wood, so I don't care, in terms of getting free wood from them, which might actually allow me to get a bit more money. 95% chance, but to be honest, because I'm giving them obligation and it's kind of already used, I'm not sure if this will be accepted. Oh, they did. That is very good. They give me more money and I get wood. Very good. And over here, the CSA is winning. Okay. But just in case, I'm gonna improve relations with the CSA. But yeah, so far they are winning. If they win, that would be super funny and generally really good. Because I didn't help them, meaning the USA doesn't hate me. me. I didn't do anything wrong. And if they're around, they weaken the US, which is really good for me. Like, even if I join the US later, a weaker US is still easy to break off from. The only negative is that if the US is weaker, it's less likely that France will hate them, or the UK, or any other great power. But yeah, the CSA winders are in Washington. Oh, this is kind of funny. Very horrible, but kind of funny. And yeah, the CSA won. Okay, this might be a very good timeline. Don't take this out of context. Please don't take this out of context. But a weaker US, which will be my basically only neighbor once they bonked Mexico, is very good news. Like, we might even use Mexico and the Confederates together to just weaken them even more. And we also finished this. Very, very nice. Now, I might actually go to another nation, like the British over here, make a treaty where I say, hey, you want to help me with that? Give them an obligation and hope that they say yes. And they do. In the background, I will use my authority to get rid of this over here. And if we're lucky, we should actually immediately get rid of it. So I will wait a little bit. Right now, we have a decent chance to get rid of this, but I might not want to do it right now. We could do something in between, like professional army, which the planters love. Yeah, let's do this to improve their opinion of us. So when we do this, they will not hate us that much, and the resistance should be way less. We also got colonialization rights over here now, so we should be super fast in colonializing this. Yeah, a lot of good news so far. A lot of really good news. Crazily enough, our population growth is a little bit less now. It's like we can't import something anymore. No comment. We also get a free university. Might be a bit expensive, but way less expensive in this patch now. It gives way less, but it's more manageable to build like one university. So it was stronger before, but it also was like way more expensive. So building like one university for a small nation was basically impossible. So we finished the last of the level 1 technologies. What I'm gonna do now is go to corporate charters for a free company, and right after that to egalitarianism, which is also very important because this will change our taxation law. And after that, I think pharmaceuticals are very important for standard of living because we get public healthcare. Very, very good. So we're very much bound to the society tax over here. As a small nation, military might be quite interesting, but to be fair, we kind of hope that the other great powers will help us because we don't have the population for a military. So society days all the way. What I will do now is build like 5 ranches and get rid of my construction center right now because I can't afford construction at the moment. We're a little bit broke. Basically, I want to get a company for, it's going to be surprising in Texas, meat. To be more precise, prime meat. Just because we have it, it is like something we can easily produce in Texas with our ranches. So yeah, and this gives us prestige. This is a prestige good. You need prestige for migration. On the side, we did finish professional army. So I would say let's finally go into this over here, making the southern planters angry, but not too angry, meaning our chances of success are higher than our chances of losing. We also got rid of the pro-slavery movement. So yeah, overall, everything's going pretty well. I have to commentate a lot, but to be fair, this is a new game for probably a lot of people with a new patch, and I see the UK just exploded. Our colony is also done, meaning in future treaties we can 100% use now the Dixieland 2 for non-colonization rights. Because we're done colonializing it, I will not go outside of Texas here, meaning I would like to also do a reconquest war, but no one is willing to help me right now. If I would become a puppet of the US, they would help me. I would recommend a save right now, and I think I'm gonna improve my relations with them a little bit, just in case they research nationalism very soon, because something I haven't told you, but the USA players of you probably already know, is that there's another way they can get claims on me, and that's if they research nationalism. As much as I know, there's no way to know when that is done. Most of the time, there's an indicator that they formed a power block, and at the same second they claimed you, so it's an instant warning. Once again, you can just save and play forward so you kind of know the future, but I'll try not to do that. Oh, the southern planters are angry. I'm just gonna... This could actually be great. If we can stop the coup, that would be a very good way to weaken them, because the law is going so far, like, not bad, but not great. This would be amazing. And it's a very good event. Retreat 15%. I don't know how far are we ahead. It doesn't say. Okay, great. Anyways, we take this over here. Oh, it's really close. One more event really quick and then the coup is done. I wish we could. It's kind of sad because they're not even that mad, but the coup is growing like really, really quick, and I'm not getting enough events to really stop it right now. Sometimes you really luck and you get immediately an event to stop it, like retreat 20%, then it's over. I kind of have to hope that we get more progress with our thing over here, then our coup can go forward, because once this is done, this coup will 100% stop, or at least I can kick out the southern planters, which would be very nice. But I also just noticed we're about to have enough relations with the US, so it gets kind of dangerous. So what we have to think about right now is, do we want to become a protectorate or not? The upside of being a protectorate is that it will help us unify basically for free, and we will get a lot of money from Mexico Mexico. That is great. The downside is, for the end of the day, we have to kind of deal with the US trying to integrate us, and they will not leave us alone until we have a big military. On top of that, they have other war goals to integrate us, which kind of bug out the game, and what that means I will show you once we probably get there, where your support of independence plays become useless, because when you're in a puppet, you can ask other people to support your independence, and if they try to integrate you or you try to break free, they should protect you, right? There is the return core thing, which Mexico has right now with the claim, which bypasses that. So if they return state on me, there's nothing I can do. I will just have to fight them alone. It is kind of RNG when they do that. It can be very early, it can be very late. It will basically be around like 5 years after they have a claim on you, so very, very soon. If you get rid of slavery, no problem. We will have a lot of migration, we can use everything for military and for industry, so that is basically our ticket-free card. Plus, getting the rest of Texas here would mean a lot of growth in population, because there's like 44.4k population here, which would probably turn into not farmers if we conquer them. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a save here, just for the sake of transparency, and accept the protectorate for the reason that it will help me fight. On the other note, I did see the UK trying to puppet me in other war goals, so having protection from the US might be good, mostly because they like each other for now, so yeah. So I think I'm gonna go into that. The coup still kind of scares me, but yeah. We got the Lone Star State, two options: either we become the protectorate, we'll say that is unnecessary, that's a very Texan thing to say, or we say screw you to the US, get prestige, and they get a claim on me. That is bad. So I'll just get protectorate. The huge upside of this is we're now in the US market. The huge downside of this is that we can't use market stuff in treaties anymore. So the things we did before in promising, oh, I will not subsidize this, oh, I will not tariff that, we can't do that anymore, because we're now in the US market, which is controlled by the US. What we can do now is do this, where the US will 100% help us, and we're just gonna start the play. I will not mobilize anything yet, and I will wait for the US to ask to be invited. While after coup is going down, oh, they're very happy with, I guess, me? I think because I like the US, they're really happy because they're in a pro-US lobby. Okay, we're making them very happy right now with having good relations with the US. That is nice. I also just noticed that at the moment the US will not join me, and I'm gonna wait for the last second here. Okay, yeah, they're not joining themselves. So what we do now is we're gonna over here revoke the claim on Texas. I'm gonna put that in. I'm pretty sure we can get the US in. We don't want to give them obligation. We're gonna give them a war goal, and we can give them a 5 maneuver war goal, which is fine. So we have around 70 maneuvers left, meaning I will go into here. I will demand like 5,000, lock that in. Gonna call in the US. For Colorado, they agree, they take over the play, and now this war is just gonna happen. I'm gonna put those to defensive. They're basically just buying us time until the US is here, and this is a free Texas unification with the help of the US. We give up our independence, quote unquote, but on the other note, I can just go here and say request market, which I will say no to, and yeah, a bit more independence. I'm gonna play a little bit those things against each other, where I will anger the US a little bit, but also increase my independence. Plus, I will need some friends now that guarantee my independence, which stuff like the Confederates could be very useful for. So hey, Confederates, what do you say for this? And we say like 25 years that you don't chicken out, and they say yes. Very good. So with our first support of independence, the war just started, and I hope the US mobilizes, meaning I will just look on who hates the US, and then we're gonna ask them for help. Like Spain. Always take a lot of years, because making the best of what we get, right? We want our independence to be guaranteed until the end of days, so I'm just gonna do 25 years, and they say yes. Very good. So 2 nations guarantee my independence. This has a little bit of a factor here, plus 10, which is still not enough, but the lower this gets, the less modifiers they get from here. So we should never drop into this bracket, and we can improve relations with them again, but at some point they will become domineering anyways. I'm just kind of buying time here. And yeah, the US is bringing troops. A little bit too late, but I'll take it. The coup is also about to be done. Very good. Democracy is saved, reducing the political strength of the southern planters by a bit and making everyone else very happy, meaning this should become a lot easier. We should get this through. So yeah, the war is won. Slavery is gone. I didn't even know this is went into the last stage, so amazing news. And I would say, anyone want schooling? Industrialists. Can we get them into government? We can. And I would say we go into public schooling, which might be very important. For our population right now, a lot of people have freed up. They're all probably, they're not even peasants anymore. They already got into a job position. That is huge. The US is mad at me because I promised legacy slavery. Oh no, that didn't time out yet. That doesn't matter. And that's the war over. And in less than 10 years, Texas united, and we will not grow anymore. We also get a petty bourgeoisie market liberal, because we're in corn laws. Yeah, we didn't start with the best food conditions. Might be actually useful later on for more capitalistic playthroughs. I'm also constructing again a construction sector, because we built up quite the investment pool in the meantime, and I want to use it again. And if you remember, if we don't have an active one, we can't use it. So it's built, and you immediately see it completely drains itself in privatization of different industries. We might also get a good bonus for public schools. Yeah, our university doesn't do a lot anyway, so I'm taking that. On this side, I will also improve relations following up with Mexico now. So I'm pretty sure if they don't hate me anymore, they will guarantee my independence. But for now, they don't like me. Actually, come on, 25 years obligation, 85% chance. Come on. Yeah. Okay, we just took land from them, but because I removed the claim on my state, they don't want it right now. And because I'm a puppet of the US, they see me as a victim. So they pay me money now, and they guarantee my independence. All I'm doing is I'm giving them an obligation, which I might never have to use, and promise them to never colonialize the Pacific area, which I, never planned on doing. So yeah, the treaties are, a bit janky. I'll take it. Also, the US is claiming us now, which will probably mean they go to domineering, which is kind of bad news, because that means we kind of need to build up our military. The good news about that is that we don't have any terms of labor blockage. And with that, I mean we don't have a problem with certain population not being able to fight in the military. So I would say have a little bit of a military buildup and chill. They also formed a power block, like I said. What is it actually? Ideological union. I did just spot their technology spreading in me, which I gladly take that. Reduces my autonomy, sure, but helps me research, or at least unlock tax. Will we funnily enough get nationalism very soon? What a timing. But yeah, again, we are #1 living standard, actually by quite a far. We have a very low GDP, which is, I kind of want that. And the only real GDP growth we got so far is from the farms I've probably built, which can't even be employed anymore because a certain labor group, it doesn't exist anymore. But our main income will be private industry. So I might actually just build up this military here, and after we're done with it, I'm gonna go into a little bit of a crazy build. What that means you will see in a bit. I'm also thinking about right now, maybe we should build like a bit of Navy while we can use the US ships, because Navy takes a while to build. So I'm gonna prioritize this before Army. Just have to be careful that our current income is a lie. We're getting a lot of money from other nations. Funnily enough, I built up enough military that the US is protected. Okay, this is the best timeline. There's a scary part in the game where you have low money and they don't like you. That was right after the Texas War. But then we removed slavery, which freed up a lot of our population, got a lot of money from Mexico, and used it to build up our military. That got the USA to stop thinking about annexing us because we became more and more scary. So instead of being domineering, they're protective again, meaning they will like us again. This is amazing. This will allow us to just whittle out of their influence without being scared of being annexed randomly, because the claim they have is really scary. And the only warning you get is your relationship to them. What I will also use right now is the industry. That's, by the way, why we built 5 livestock ranches, or at least I built it. I think I didn't explain why. So we can get this company over here, which needs at least 5 of either one of these types. Opening up over here, I will go into the company, allow them to get investment rights, meaning they can invest, give them trade rights, meaning they can build trade centers, which is very important, and give them access to textile mills, which means they can also acquire and build textile mills. And because we have access to the entire British Empire, they can just go ham inside of the British Empire. And later on, once they are very profitable, which they are not right now, they unlock prime meat, giving us prestige, which we really need for migration attraction. What I will also do to kind of boost the companies to bankroll the farms over here, and yeah, make them more profitable that way, because that should reflect in their income right now, which early on should be not good with the farms they currently have. But yeah, see, this really goes up right now. They have good money, and with that money, they should use my investment pool to buy new farms all over the British market. On another note, Russia hates the US now. That never happened. So I'm gonna ask them. They immediately said no. And I think I can't immediately ask again. No. Probably there's nothing I can offer them right now. So what I'm gonna offer them is improved relations, because I really need their help. And yeah, those farms have exploded. They're not 13. They own farms all over now. Where do you actually own farms? It is 4 farms in Texas and a plantation, 3 textile mills in Punjab, livestock over there, and okay, they bought themselves very much into India, but they have a lot of investment pool. They should use that, and I hope they do. I would also say, while the US likes me, I'm gonna hold this current building project here, because I would love to have an army, but we can't afford it right now. You have to see this income is imaginary. So what I will do is I will build 6 construction sectors, which sounds like a crazy idea because they're super expensive. But my plan is that my investment pool is using it and not me for a while. So I don't plan to build anything government-wise for a while, and I'm just gonna use my investment pool because they're currently not privatizing anymore, meaning the money's just stocking up. So I'm kind of building construction sectors right now to burn down the investment pool, which has way too high income thanks to the opium plantations. And oh, we're missing opium. That's kind of funny. I'm kind of balancing everything to get most of the money. Our living standard is exploding. We also got education right now, and the things I really want to have now is healthcare, better policing, which might actually be worth now because it takes power away from the salmon planters, cultural exclusion, which I could actually ask the US for because they have that, and also very nice open borders. And I think because we have the industrialists in power is basically the capitalists, this is very likely. What I will need though, very important here, is one administrative building, because we're running out of bureaucracy. We've actually really good net spread over here for technology into better bureaucracy. Nice. I got Mexico again to agree to the Declaration of Independence, meaning we slowed this down again. Russia would be huge here, though, because Russia is actually a great power. Getting them on board would be good. The problem is I don't know what to promise them right now. I can't give them obligation. I could give them investment rights, which would actually not be that bad, because there's nothing really you can invest into my nation. We don't really have any job seekers here. Like, you can't build up an industry. This is like the amazing part of this build, that everyone that comes here is instantly like a capitalist or something, because we have so many houses that control other industries in other nations that we don't have a need for our own production. And because we're kind of in the US market right now, we don't even need to import anything. Later on we do, because I do want to break off, as I said. If I would make this entire challenge without any need to break off, this would be like a super easy challenge. But nah, I want to stay independent. I want to do the true Texan way. And I also want to use our added bureaucracy to get a few things up, like police and, very important, education. We can also reduce colonialization now because we're not colonializing anymore, but we still want to keep it in place. Oh, very good here. 20 prestige. You don't know how much that is. We're 17 right now. Plus 20 means, okay, I don't know how this adds up, but we're at 40 now, making us number 27 great power. Well, how long do we have this? Oh, 5 years. Okay, 4 years always means 5 years because it instantly ticks down and it always rounds down, meaning if it's like 4 years, 11 months and like 29 days, it's 4 years. So yeah, 5 years is pretty good. Okay, I changed my treaty with the CZ. No more colonization efforts. I'm just paying them 1,000 and the obligation. And for 25 years, I should guarantee my independence. So they hate the US. It should just stay around. That's fine. What I will do with the US now, I'm going to spam them with colonial treaties. It's still not enough for that. Pay them 5,000. That is so much money that I don't have yet. I can't give them an obligation. If I give them an obligation right now, I can never declare my independence. I did that once. Huge mistake. Don't do that, because you can't do this if you have an obligation. So if you want to keep your puppets loyal, just get obligations from them and give them stuff. I guess that's a good counter strat. So I'm going to do this for now for better relations, and they will say yes to this. Very good. And I will change this treaty now. Investment rights. Remove this, because this is negative now, and offer them like, I think 2,000 is fine. 25% chance. They said no. But now I can't do this treaty again. There's like a cooldown. You see right here, minus 1,000. So just gonna wait on the cooldown. It's fine. We have the other treaty, which just improves relations with them, which I'll take. And on the other note, I just wanna, hello Russia, please. I will say no to every treaty. Oh, they say yes to 500. Good. Economy nearly saved. Okay, we're losing money, but if you look at our credit goes down. So it says negative, but we're still getting like 4,000. I don't know why. I don't care. That's very good. On another note, our industry is expanding. I see all of the plantations. Oh my god, they are expanding. Very good. And yeah, build all of the construction sectors, meaning we are burning down. Actually, we're not even burning down. We're building super expensive construction right now, and it's still not enough to reduce. Like, I was in debt. That's why I stopped building them. You see in a second what I mean, right? Like, we are a super small nation GDP-wise. Super small. And our gold reserves are right now 24k. If I build for a second, like unpause this, minus 24. That's our entire gold reserve just gone in 2 ticks. And it's still not enough to burn down our investment pool. So I'm gonna build 2 more, which once again inflates the price crazily. I hope the US builds like a railway in me. And yeah, we're making a profit. Very good. We're also nearly at the equilibrium with our investment pool. So we're building quite a bit now. This is amazing. This is what I wanted to do. And it doesn't cost me anything directly. We also have a better police force now. That is super nice. And I would say next we go into something you might think I'm crazy about. Because we're gonna go into land-based taxation, which you might think, oh my god, Florius, this is a huge negative. Why would you do this? Sometimes in this game, and hopefully also in real life, reaching to my US viewers here, it's good to go a step backwards so the public is open to go 2 steps forwards. Meaning right now, no one is for proportional taxation, but if you would go to a land-based, they would say proportional is better and would vote for that. Very important here right now is we can't tax any of our companies. We have a per capita tax, which is crazy in per capita taxation, I know, and a land tax, which means we tax everyone on the land, which no one is because we don't have any jobless population. Or you just have a land tax, which, you know, this is horrible because no one is in our land, and what that exactly means I will show in a sec. We want to go to proportional, which has a dividend tax. That's the first type of taxation that taxes the profits of companies. And you see, in comparison to right now, and we're on low taxation, it would already be 3,000 up. That is huge. We are a super small nation. That is really good. I mean, this would be even better because this is double what proportional is, but this is a faraway dream with socialism. I know, you're playing taxes, the irony, but it would be very good for our income, right? And that's all the way here in number 3, meaning we need to finish all the number 2 tax. So yeah, we're doing what we're doing now. But in the meantime, our companies don't pay any taxation, meaning they will just make more and more money and build themselves up more and more. You might have also noticed our population is growing quite a bit. We had no mass migration yet, and I think it's because our rank is not high enough, even though we are super close. So I'm gonna upgrade my military. Maybe that does something, and maybe also, can we gaslight people into thinking we're stronger than we are, but just putting down some enlistment efforts? use. We don't have the authority. I think it could be fixed once we have enough profits over here, but it still will take a while. I mean, I can bankroll. I'm still bankrolling this. How do you still lose money? Make money. I'm giving you money to make money. I think we generally have a problem with immigration. We need more people. I did just spot that the US is now in fight with Russia, and Russia actually likes me. So how about obligation? Can we give like a bit of money? 700? 40% chance. They say yes for 5 years. And it gives us enormous support. Like you see over here, Prussia is Confederates and Spain together. It is super to have a great power on your help. The dream would be that like the UK, probably the UK, or France also dislikes them. And then we can get them into. So I think I noticed something funny. A lot of people are working here because I subsidize it, which kind of forces people to work here, which is bad. So now I'm stopping that. Should probably mean, yeah, Primate is triggering now because they became super profitable overnight. I already have regional HQs in Yorkshire and in Punjab, meaning those will drain the investment pool of those British regions. That is super good. This will give us so much prestige. The problem is it might be too late. Yeah, because this is very soon gone. But what we did finish in the background is egalitarianism, and I'll probably budget that, meaning I will just research the rest of the row here. This is all pretty decent, by the way, which might be super good timing because we might be very soon done with land-based taxation. Once we have that, we have to just speed through getting the other taxation law because we will go bankrupt. I just saw our standard of living rise because it didn't force people to work on a farm anymore. They all just became capitalists, and instead of living just exploded in the early 26. If you look to the next one, and the next one is literally Alaska, and they have gold. That's why they're so prosperous, quote unquote. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well. So we got land-based taxation, meaning we are in the broke any percent speed run immediately. Let's go to proportional taxation. No one really hates this. I mean, they love per capita more because this also has the industrialists on board, which would be the ones paying in this in proportional taxation. But right now, the petty bourgeoisie, the armed forces, and the farmers would love this. I'm gonna do this. I think most of them are in government. Yeah, I take it back. All of them are in government. I'm gonna put my taxes so this is faster. I'm gonna reduce all of this over here, even though it costs me prestige. And I have to remove this so we do even faster with the law enactment. This will cost us a lot of money. We will go bankrupt at some point. But if we get this in time, we are fine. We just need to get this super fast. And that means like if you get 3 lucky rolls, this goes through. There is only advance and success. So this will go through. The question is how fast. I'm hoping for fast. And this will improve our tax by a lot. This will save us. Okay, this is an unlucky roll. You know, I'm gonna take this. Standard of living increased. Very important. With 27. Yeah, we got 2 unlucky rolls where we both advance, but we don't really have time for that, do we? I have to kind of reduce my construction sectors right now because they kind of did use up most of my investment pool. And right now they are eating into my wages. I feel like for now 5 is enough. Yeah, right now they're only privatizing, so we're not building anything. Meaning capitalist-wise, we're looking really good. We have a lot of, like Texas, if you look financial districts like New York, we're pretty good. If you look like Paris, we have more than Paris. The only one probably better than us is yet. It is funny that we're not too far off the UK, but like London is like amazing and like they're so ahead of the game at the start. Like it is crazy. We're doing pretty well. And if you can actually tax them, that would be great. If not, this was a very fun run and we're doing bankruptcy any percent right now. Yes, we're voting. Please. I just want you to understand. We get 0 from taxes. We didn't dare get a poll tax. We get 0 taxation right now. If I increase this or decrease this is pennies, not pounds. Yes. Tax everyone. We're getting out of the negative now. That was a very dramatic area of our nation. I would also be pro opening our borders now. But for that, I need... Oh, I can actually get them into government. Look at that. Industrialists are in government. People hate this, but they don't hate it that much. So I'm going to do this. On another note, the US doesn't need to give us money anymore, and we're getting kind of low on liberty desire. So what I will do, I'm just going to break this treaty over here. Which will decrease my relations with them. They should not hate me, right? You don't hate me for this, right? No, they don't hate me. They love me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a new treaty here for military access and yeah, maybe some money again. No, they don't like that. Yeah, let's just do that. We also have freedom, equality, and brotherhood. Do we want a radical? Yeah, protected speech would be great. Or do we want a reformer? Oh, cultural exclusion and women rights. And this is we need all of this. We need a reformer. Bro is a reformer now. Very good. Winds of change. Loyalists. You know what? Let's get some loyalists. I mean, we only have loyalists, so sure. So we're getting prime meat now. Meaning if I subsidize this over here, which I will do for a little bit, we should get a lot of this good. The question is if it's enough. And we'll actually have to go the railway now. Yeah, I've spotted another bug where stuff just randomly goes all green. Just to show this off, I'm just gonna put all of this in here. 100% green, they love this. I'm also gonna say yes to the power block. And what I demand is that they help me with no migration controls. And you see, like over 30%, 100% chance to say yes. No. I kinda, like I did enough test runs out of it, know what it is. Sometimes, for some reason, the AI visually shows you that they want all of these things. That's a lie. They don't. I do know a few things they want. I know that North Africa is always fine with France and the Power Embassy and the obligation. But this is like a visual mistake where they just say yes to everything, but in the background, there's still a real number, so they say no because they wouldn't say yes to this. I'm just gonna try this again. The problem is they probably have the minus 1000% modifier right now because of bad deal. Maybe this fixes it. I don't know. This has 85% chance. This seems very realistic. I'm just gonna try this. And they said yes to this, yeah. I just know from playing around a lot with France that North Africa is like the region I always say yes to. So them helping with that might be huge because no migration controls is another step towards more population. After that, I want this over here, which not a lot of people want, but I want it. Yes, we're making racism illegal. No more racism. We fixed it. So the US changed their stance on me and canceled all of the treaties back to domineering. So I'm gonna bankrupt myself a little bit and build more military. I will also decrease my opinion to them because maybe we can use that. Maybe. We do have a lot of people in our nation now. Not enough to really make a difference, but maybe enough to fight a war. Plus we have a lot of friends around the world that would help us. Very soon Brazil. I can't get Russia to do anything for me. I don't know. Russia is like really negative towards me. Untrustworthy country. It's like a hidden modifier because I canceled the treaty. To be fair, the US canceled the treaty at the moment, so that was my fault. Very good event though. And this ideology gets removed. I really want to get rid of that. So yeah, sure, let's get rid of that. We also got rid of migration controls. I would say the next big step is going down here, which makes the petty bourgeoisie kind of angry. Maybe. Can I get them into government for a little bit? Like this. This guy over here changes their mind. And we get like a liberal government again. He doesn't. Can we do something else before that? I would love to have this. They would like a National Guard. Let me get the church into here. Let's get healthcare in. Even if I would love getting like cultural exclusion done, healthcare is really important for, I mean, our standard of living is amazing, but it has other modifiers that are quite good. Like reduced mortality, meaning we get more population because, you know, less people die. That is very nice. I do see there's an untrustworthy country modifier in my nation. This is why Russia doesn't want to deal with me right now. Otherwise, I would actually say yes with an obligation. Getting money involved would very quickly become very expensive. Plus, I don't want colonial rights. It is sad that none of the colonial powers really hate the USA, because that would make it easy. But what I see, I just have to defeat Netherlands, Sweden, and the US, and I think together with Mexico, the Confederates, and Brazil, it should be possible. You have a lot of men, but Confederates should have the two. And they have less now, but we shall see. Russia joining is nice, but to be fair, I don't like knowing the AI. I just know they will not bring a lot of stuff over. But you do see over here that prestige goods give me plus 12 prestige, which brings us to rank 25 again. That is good. I think together with an army, we might generally get mass migrations very soon. Because I never showed this before, but our mass migration... Oh, wait, we are not a possible target right now. That is... I am genuinely not sure why, but our attraction would be 145, while other states are like 50, 72 over here. We are very high. Like, we are super high. Game doesn't have a good way into telling you everything. Can be affected by your migration law. No migration controls. I think it's not affected by that. No, I don't think so. It might be a random thing that might go away very soon. But we see we get a lot of migration from the US right now. That is kind of cool. And there you go. First mass migration from Portugal, finally. So we are getting a big influx of people now, but I think we're strong enough that we can really show the US what's going on, especially for all the friends around us. The mass migration though is huge. Look at that. That is enormous. We did also just finish public healthcare. Huge reforms in the nation. The big question is, can we finally go down to here? No one wants this right now. I mean, industrials are not empowered, to be fair. There would be a lot to say about laissez-faire. You know what? I'm actually gonna go laissez-faire, which is kind of scary, because we will sell most of our plantations over here, if you like it or not. It will force us to privatize, meaning we will privatize all of these plantations here, probably to Britain. But I think we have so many capitalists right now already, it doesn't matter. We get so much in the investment pool. Yeah, you see most of this, there's still a lot from opium plantations, but I think everything else is carrying this quite well. I'm gonna put down a save right now for a very important reason. I think we're ready to break off the US. So I might just generally ask them to give me liberty. They say no. I have a lot of supporters. They are warring. Sweden is gonna help them, but I hope it's not enough for them to be chill again. This warring means they just give up. No, oh my god, they got the Netherlands in. But I think now that this is gonna be a real war, I'm just gonna lock in and demand from them to give up their claim on Texas. They're confident now. That is dangerous. I have to mobilize now 100%. I will have to enlistment efforts. I have to get a lot of conscripts out of here. Yeah, they're super confident. That is kind of scary because most of the time they're not wrong when they're confident. I will just cheekily squeeze in big war operations because because it doesn't cost me anything, and investment rights. That would be huge. It's gonna be a global war. I think the Netherlands are gonna be out very soon, thanks to Prussia. Maybe Sweden too. The only thing I noticed right now is that I have no troops over here, so I'm gonna try to push them from the back. And if I'm lucky, they've incorporated some of these states already. They have Minnesota, so I'm gonna order these troops to push into Minnesota as quickly as possible with a lot of reckless advances. Because if we can do it quick, we might actually win this. If we don't, we're just screwed. Oh no, the frontline merged. Ah, that is so sad. I don't know how it merges front lines, but these merge now. And I highly doubt it. Oh, we're actually pushing. Do we get this up? Oh, we're winning. Okay, we should continue to push them. This might be winnable. Prussia over here should just collapse the Netherlands. Having Prussia in here is actually a very good counter to Sweden and the Netherlands. Jokes aside, I think we get this. I think I have one more ace up my sleeve, and it is random naval invasions. So what I'm gonna try is to naval invade in Maine with my navy to kind of put some troops off the front line. Brazil has a huge navy. I didn't even think about that. Brazil, you are saving me here. Oh my god. That distraction backfired. Maybe we can do it again. I'm gonna spam this a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna comment it a bit less now because those wars, especially if the current patch, seem to be a bit chaotic. By the way, every time you lose with your navy, just get a new admiral or fire an old one. It's a stupid trick, but it works. Sweden is out. Okay, now we're just winning this. All we need is to control like one state. Oh, Prussia is in a big war now. No, please don't go there just yet. We just have to be quick enough now that we can defeat them before I go bankrupt, which I just noticed I currently am going. Please. Okay, I have to jump a bit back because the war was fine. I was just going bankrupt because I completely forgot to set up trade routes for myself. So what I'm going to do now, which I should have done before, is stop constructing because that is getting me broke. Fund all of this over here. Defund our siege farm over here because it's costing us enormous amounts of money. Fund our military, and then probably save again so I don't have to set this up. Independence play. Go in. Once again, mobilize everyone. And yeah, literally it's the same war. So I'm just gonna do the same thing again. Revoke the claim on me. Demand the money we will desperately need after this. Maybe even do some weird things like, oh, already out of most. I guess we could also force the Netherlands to give me money for the sole reason that they will capitulate first. So them giving me money would be super nice. War begins. You might notice on top here, I don't know why I didn't do this before. I was so locked in fighting, I forgot this. All the goods we don't have right now, and I'm just gonna ask our good friend Great Britain for those goods, and they should very likely say yes about this because, I mean, if you don't understand the system, basically, if I take those goods out of their market, they become more expensive again, meaning that their factories make more of a profit again. So by taking the goods I already have too much of, I'm actually doing them a favor, and because we don't have any production of our own, depressed prices are something I really don't care about, and even better, I'm at war, so my economy is gonna be US war operations for a while after this. It's not looking good. But all of this is still backed out, but I know they love La Plata if I say no to this, so this plus no tariffs on meat. Perfect. 100% chance of princess. Yes, I just give them power embassy, no colonization rights, no tariffs on meat, because of our own market again, and it should be that. 5 years of free goods, meaning we're only missing ammunition, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I can get some of that from Russians before they have a problem. I can get cannons from Prussians. That's actually good. So deal with the Prussians. They give me a few goods. I just promised them that I do nothing with iron, small guns, like no tariffs. I can't even interact in the world market with them. To be fair, I don't care. I'm getting the guns from them and from the British, so it should be fine. But yeah, I would say I'm gonna push up here, try to kind of snake around the normal front line. Let's see if that works. I do hope. If those front lines merge again, I mean, there's nothing I can do. I think we should generally just win. The problem last time is that I just went bankrupt, which is not good. So yeah, but I think we should just hold this with all the help from all the other nations. The US will slowly mobilize, but yeah, they will do that anyways. Okay, the front lines merged. The question is, do we play defensive or do we play offensive with that knowledge? I think I'm gonna remove the push order here and just let them push anywhere. Because I think in mass, we should just win and drain their manpower down faster than can do this to us. Is this a state? No. Oh, it would have been so good. US, why are you not statifying anything? They're stopping me from my victory. Jokes aside, by the way, we just need to win in one state, and this war is won. Problem is that the Austrians are now attacking Prussia, or what's actually the play about? Prussia is in the war helping me, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna beat Austria. they will never form a Germany now. They just won't. The Argentini's game is crazy. The AI helping you in an independence war, then just randomly deciding, yo, I'm gonna declare another big war and drag all my troops away from your front line. Okay, we pushed the Netherlands out, meaning I got the money. Okay, the Prussians were actually helpful. And the US is losing, so we control something. We control some of Washington. I think that actually is enough. So let's see when we can demand everything. I want independence, I want them, that. They say yes to all of this. Why does my own party say no to this? The US would give up right now, but Mexico, my own ally, says no. What is going on? Oh, man, my own allies are f***ing me. Like, no, we're gonna continue this war. Kill this man. Oh, this game is just so RNG. At least I don't lose any progress because they don't control anything of me. But yeah, I could end this war right now. My own ally says no, though. So I have to wait for minus 100% then where we get everything. Great. Mexico is very persistent on fighting the US, I gotta tell you that much. But yeah, we won the war. Took a bit longer. We got our independence revoked claim of Texas. So no one claims this anymore. It's just us. And they have to transfer us a lot of money. I think it's like 25k. But let me actually check. We get 8,000 from the Netherlands and yeah, nearly 26k from the US. So yeah, our financial situation is a lot better now. I'm gonna reduce the taxation immediately. Okay, maybe not that much. And improve the rest of our nation as much as I can. What I want again is investment rights into the British. And because we are our own market, this should be possible. Austria is just dying, but Prussia is actually winning that. That is crazy. But still, the timing is so bad. So we are even a laissez-faire economy now. The problem is no one wants to give me investment rights. I mean, I could offer them back. It's not like there's anything to invest into me. And maybe like a lot of... I mean, we have a lot of money right now. We could just give them like 5,000. And then we say this 62%. Yes. Oh, this is really good. My capitalist had nothing to do anything. My own nation is not really that good. Let me have a look, by the way. Can we ask you for iron? Oh, they would love to give me iron. I'm gonna demand a lot of iron. Maybe we can put this to 15 years then? Yes. This is beautiful. This makes my construction industry cheap. But yeah, I gotta say 1859, early, independent Texas, GDP absolutely depressed, but by far the highest standard of living. Economy-wise, we are enormous. We are independent. We have quite the prestige, and I would say we're in an upwards trend right now. We have an entire Prussia to invest into, and very soon, much more capabilities than that. Maybe even the US in the future if they stop hating me, which will take a while. It looks so crazy when you zoom out, and even our migration is holding pretty well. We should get more mass migration soon, though. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this semi-guide, more like playthrough. My supporters, I love you. Thank you for supporting me as much as you do. If you want to support me too, Patreon, YouTube membership, I'll list it all here. And as for me, until next time, bye.